Well, looking around, as the compere, I'm sure most of you in the front row can't see, well, we're extremely happy that it's a full house at our inaugural forum, and that in itself is a success for us. I think that deserves a round of applause. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to success stories. And can I first invite Mr. Jayanta Karunaratne, who's the founder, chairman, and managing director of the Imperial Teas Group, commenced business in 1994. His 40-plus years of experience in the tea trade began in 1977, when he served as a tea taster at a leading tea export company in Sri Lanka. Extensive travel has given him an in-depth knowledge of overseas markets and trading concepts and methodologies. He is the immediate past chairman of the Colombo Tea Traders Association, and it is during his tenure as chairman of CTTA that he headed and facilitated the transition from an outcry auction system to an e-auction due to the severe implications caused on the tea industry from the COVID-19 pandemic. And in 2023, Colombo Tea Traders Association awarded this personality an honorary membership for the contribution made to the tea industry in Sri Lanka. Without further ado, I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Jayanta Karunaratne.
Good evening. When Mr. Siriwardana discussed with me about this program and also the success stories, so I said in Sri Lanka, we have the tea industry have been very resilient, and we have done a big change, of changing the auction system in Sri Lanka, which was running for 125 years in manual form to an automated system. So I said it's a success story done within a very short period of time. So then Mr. Siriwardana wanted me to share this. So thank you very much for inviting me to share my experience today. Yes. Now, we in here, the industries or exporters have gone through many problems in the past. We have insurgencies, terrorism, and also, subsequently East bombing, and also now economic crisis. So we are going through all these problems, and many industries have come out well, by going through all these problems, but we have very successful stories. But here I would like to share my experience in the tea trade of how we came out during 2020, during COVID time, to change the auction system, which is very, very important to Sri Lanka and to the entire tea industry. In Sri Lanka, tea industry is, employ about 2.5 million people, so which is about maybe 10% of the population, and also bring in about $1.3 billion, so which is about 15% of the GDP. So during 2022 March, we could not meet, we could not have the auction, so all the buyers were not willing to come to auctions. So we had to find a way. The auction system was handled by the Colombo Tea Traders Association. It's a private sector organization. We have no involvement with the government, but the government has given it to CTTA through the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce. So we had to find a way of selling the tea for the buyers to buy and export it. So after this was done, we had no time. We had very little, few days to do this, to find a way of selling the tea, giving it to the buyers, and export it. So immediately after this was done, the IMF came to Sri Lanka, discussed with us how we did it in such a short period of time. So they did a video on this. So I think it's about 2.5 minutes. We'll play this now. By about March, the COVID-19 started affecting all of us here in Sri Lanka. Traditionally, the auctions were at the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce. We had about 100 buyers get together with the broker.
The broker goes lot by lot, shouting out, asking for prices. So that's how the system was running for the last 137 years. 10% of the Sri Lankan population, almost 2.1 million people, is involved in this tea industry.
Tea makers, our workers, our farmers, our master tea tasters, our blenders.
By about middle of March, people started complaining they cannot come.
We were unprepared for the suddenness of the shutdown.
When the government decided that they had to go to find an online solution in the tea industry, they couldn't. There was no resistance, of course, because they had no other options. Several actors come together to deliver a solution in 6 days, believe it or not.
We worked with this fantastic team of Sri Lankan tech guys.
So we made history on 4th of April 2020 by having the first auction, digital auction going live. When you digitize it, the difference is there is a pin drop silence. Nobody talks.
There are a lot of advantages in this system as well, because this here you can see all our buyers.
From April, tea prices moved up in Sri Lanka a lot. So I think the producers are happy, the state government is happy, so generally all are happy.
People are happy with the efficiency and things like that. So I don't see us going back to the physical auction.
Most of the other industries were shut down, but tea industry continued to work.
எல்லாத்துக்கும் சம்பளம் நேரத்தில் கூட நாங்கள் எஸ்டேட்டில் வேலை செஞ்சவங்களுக்கு எங்களுக்கு சம்பளம் கிடைச்சி. இந்த தொழில் செய்கிறதுனால தான் எங்களுக்கு மன சந்தோஷமாக போன வருஷம் இந்த கொரோனா பிரச்சனை டைமில் கூட நாங்கள் நல்லாவே வேலை செஞ்சு சம்பளம் வாங்கி சந்தோஷமாக குடும்பம் நடத்திக்கிட்டு பிள்ளைகளோட சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கிறோம்.
I think it's a great achievement for all of us.
Best way to get them to look after your people is keep them safe, keep them healthy, keep them employed. And that's what the platform did for Ceylon Tea.
This is the success story of the tea industry by the stakeholders. So I think I would like to share a little bit of information of how we did it. I think the last manual tea auction was on as far as I remember, about 18th of March. So we could not have another auction. So I think the CTT was under a lot of pressure from the stakeholders and also from the government and the ministries were asking, what are you doing about it? But we had to find a way of selling the tea because the producers have produced tea, they want to sell. And also the Sinhalese New Year is 13th of April. So they want to sell, they want to collect money, and they want to pay advances. And, there were a lot of challenges. So people, the all stakeholders, we could not even meet during this time properly, but, we had, like Zoom and Teams meeting, and we discussed all how we should do it. So first thing is to get all the people to agree to a kind of a automated system. That was not easy because it's a big industry, so many stakeholders, so convincing them was not easy. So we had to do that. Then to find a service provider. So there was nobody, known to us who could do this. We are not tech-savvy people to, give even an idea. So we were talking to a supplier who did some work for the tea industry, so back office work. So he said, we can try. So we told him to try. We didn't have any quotations, we didn't have any financial commitments, and we didn't know how to finance it also. So, but he said, I said, okay, you start it, we will find a way of paying you. So that is, that assurance was given by us. So he said, okay, we will try it. But it was not easy to convince people, and also then how to finance it. we are private. We are not getting any finances from the government. So we stakeholders said we will share the cost. So we all, the buyers and sellers, got together and we agreed we will share the cost of doing this. So we all agreed. First auction was held on the 4th April 2020. It was not a good thing, but it took almost 5 days. Normally our auctions are about 1.5 days or 2 days maximum. So it took 5 days for us to finish the first ever automated auction in Sri Lanka. And, we finished it. We collected money from the buyers. We paid all the producers. They got all the money on time for their Sinhalese New Year before the 10th of April. So that was a success story, and it was the unity of the stakeholders. We were all together. We were all, we were agreeing to. We were very honest. We said, we don't know how much it's going to cost us, but we will share it. But it didn't cost us so much, and it's all the private sector money. And, and we ran that system for about 5-6 months. Then after that, we went for a proper RFP and went for international bidding, and we selected another service provider to do that Kalambuti auction. So that was the experience we have, and it was the unity of the industry and also the risk taken by the people, because we had to find a way of doing it and finish the auction and see that the producers sell their tea, exporters purchase the teas and export it and bring money back to the Sri Lanka. So that's the story. Thank you very much.